terms of source code, that people are going out saying that they're basing things off of the 3DS version.
Yeah. Oh, and then there's another thing also I'm gonna bring up. I usually don't like talking about this like in these videos, but I'm going to because I thought this was a rather interesting situation. So for like the last year and a half or so, I think dating as far back as late 2022, from what I heard, there was, from what I remember, there was a guy by the name of Pioro who would have a track record of giving out information on announcements that were about to happen, like stuff for like NSO, Nintendo Directs or whatever. And for the longest time, like he was like dead on his accuracy, and he was gaining such a huge following or whatever. But then he was unusually quiet for this past Direct, and it was then discovered that Pioro was getting all his information from the back end of Nintendo's eShop or whatever, which is how he knew a lot of the stuff that was coming up. But for the most part, though, he was still like proven to be very reliable until this past Direct, when he said that not to expect a lot of first-party announcements, which ended up being the complete opposite because there were several first-party announcements in the Direct. So, yeah, so naturally, he goes into hiding, he made his Twitter account private, and the person that he was getting his source from is, who by the way was working for Nintendo of Japan, apparently, and I say was, because he's probably going to lose his job, yeah. So that probably explains why, as of the time I'm recording this episode, pre-orders for all the first-party stuff that was announced aren't available on the for pre-order on the eShop yet. In fact, the only first-party thing that is available on the eShop as of right now is the 17 Plus version of the N64 app. Everything else, like the regular games themselves or whatever, yeah, nope, not available for pre-order yet for some reason, but hopefully we won't have to wait too long on that. And plus, these games are like a few months away from coming out. In fact, I think the shortest turnaround from of those three from announcement to release is the 2D Zelda, which comes out on September 26th. So it's not like we'd be in a rush to pre-order those right now anyway.
So yeah, like I'm trying to say, very solid Direct. My favorite thing of the whole thing was the Mario Luigi Brothers shit, because like, I'm a big Mario Luigi fan, like I said, and like the first thing I thought of when I saw like Luigi, like coming out of the bushes or whatever, I believe my first thought was like, well, Mario Luigi, it's bad, or something similar, and like that just made me so happy.
Yeah. And like that.
I'm happy with an announcement too. Definitely for sure my top two, number one was Mario Luigi Partnership, and then definitely number two was Super Mario Party Jamboree. Those are definitely by far my two favorites.
Yeah, I agree with that.
My favorite of the announcements that were revealed in the latest Nintendo Direct is the Super Mario Party Jamboree. I'm so excited about that one right here. I'm just getting excited for our new Mario Party.
Yeah. And
already had to experience all the new boards on there, along with two classic books that are returning for what we were previously talking about.
although I do gotta say though,
That game comes out, and they play the game a lot with few market seven runners on here.
Yeah.
A lot around the time it comes out.
although I do gotta say though, yeah, I do.
Assuming I have it permanent, assuming I have it for a complex, beforehand and stuff, I'm looking forward to the Mario Luigi Partnership and the Mario Party, the new Mario Party game. You know, it's just all the business of the apartment.
Yeah, I do gotta say though, like the clip that they had at the beginning of the Mario and Luigi trailer, where Luigi was running away from a swarm of bees, that was pretty funny.
Pepper was hilarious.
That is certainly the Mario Luigi humor right there.
Yeah.
Bad things happens to Luigi.
Well, that's mainly because Nintendo's always thought of Luigi as an afterthought, which I don't think is kind of fair, honestly.
Neither in True Act.
Oh.
And definitely for sure, the announcement for Metroid Prime 4 is easily another great announcement that I enjoy a lot as well. And even though I'm not into the Metroid series, but I hope a lot of the Metroid fans out there are definitely very excited for that, since they have now revealed when it's coming out for next year.
Now, I'm not a big Metroid fan either, but the gameplay that they showed in that trailer did look very cool.
Oh, yeah. The game definitely did look amazing.
Oh yeah, certainly it's really good graphic. Probably one of the best graphics I've ever seen on a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, like-
That's kind of to be expected, but still really good graphics.
Like, you
To
could-
be fair, I am easily impressed. But yeah, wow, just very impressive stuff with the Switch.
Yeah, like you could barely tell.
That's actually another reason I think it will be for both the Switch and the new console too, because even though I was watching the show, I thought to myself, man, this game honestly looks way too good to be running on the Switch.
Yeah, but that's what I was about to get at there. Because, like, from what I saw from the gameplay there that they showed, you could barely tell that it's running on what's probably going to be 8-year-old hardware at the time that that game releases.
And I'm also looking forward to basketball on the Nintendo Switch Sports as well. Considering that I didn't even think they were going to add it to the game, and that it was my favorite sport to be sports before. I can't wait to see what it's going to be like on the Nintendo Switch Sports once that releases.
Yeah.
Like I said before, like I'm trying to say on the terms of that, I'm not interested in it. I mean, cause like, it's basically more reasons why I didn't buy Mario Strikers Battle League either. Because that game has the same exact issues as the Nintendo Switch Sports. Release it now, fix it later approach. It's also why I didn't get Mario Tennis Battle Aces, and especially why I didn't get the Mario Golf Super Rush. But then again, even if Mario Golf Super Rush was released as completed, I still learned to bought it, 'cause I'm not good at Mario Golf games. I mean, heck, look at Kirby Forgotten Land, for instance. That game was released, or I'm not mistaken, in 2022, if I'm not mistaken, and get this, that game has not been updated a single time, which means that Kirby Forgotten Land is completed, unlike Nintendo Switch Sports.
Yeah. And
I will still say though, I don't like the Nintendo Switch Sports very much, but it is definitely still a lot better than Mario Strikers. I hate the Mario Strikers game on the Switch, honestly.
yeah.
Fine, Mario Strikers Battle League on Switch. I played it a good amount of times. Sure, it's not the best, but I still like it. But definitely for sure, Mario Strikers Charge, I also have my collection. It's way better.
Yeah, and
Heck, I don't even care that my girl Rosalina is in the game. I'm still not getting it.
yeah, and from what I remember, Nick, I think you were telling me how you were hoping for both the new Mario Kart and Mario Party to show up in the Direct. We got one of the two, which was the new Mario Party. But in terms of a new Mario Kart, that's probably going to be on the next system.
I'm gaming as well.
Yeah.
Probably gonna be maybe next year, we'll finally get about the new Mario Kart.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Many people out there really want to see Mario Kart game so badly, considering that we haven't had a proper new one in over 10 years now.
Yeah, because the last proper new one was Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, which was 10 years ago.
And also because, Persona 3 Reload being graphically intense or whatever, it's way too intensive to run on the Switch. People are speculating that Persona 3 Reload, the port on that is gonna release games on the Switch too. We'll have to see as time goes on, but I do know I'll be getting it soon out of the apartment before then, of course, and that's even if I do get the Switch too. But you know, I hope that they do a Persona 3 Reload port on on the Switch too.
Yeah.
That'd be a really amazing if they would, but I don't know. And we still have some ways though before we get to the Switch 2.
Yeah.
Whenever we get a Switch 2, I hope the Nintendo fans are looking forward to it.
Yeah, I know for a fact.
We just have to find out as time goes on.
Yeah, I know for a fact that Persona 3 Reload is on PlayStation 5.
Because see, then back in the day when people were like, oh, Persona 5, that can't run on Switch, that can't run on Switch. And then it's like, yeah, it can, because the original Persona 5 was made with a PS3 in mind. It sounds like you're telling me that the Switch can't handle a PS3 game, and sure enough, 2022 came along, Persona Royal came out on the Switch, and I bought it, I believe on the same year, and that game ran, well, pretty well on the Switch, and so it's like to the people who said, oh, Persona 5 can't run on the Switch, well, you guys thought wrong they thought wrong big time, that was way back when, and I believe that was also when they also announced, Persona 4 Golden and Persona 3 Portable coming, very early of 2023. So, I'm really glad though that Persona 5 finally made it to the Switch. After all those years of waiting, getting a Persona 5 or Persona 5 Royal port on the Switch, and we finally got it. Yeah, you bet your butt that I was excited, especially considering that it's my second favorite game of all time. So, yeah, you bet your butt I was excited.
Yeah, like Persona 3 Reload, I'm not sure if I'm gonna get for my PS5, but there are a couple of PS5 games that I do plan on Let's Playing on the channel in the very near future. Both of the Spider-Man games that I have are currently planned to be Let's Plays. Those, of course, being Spider-Man 2 and Miles Morales.
Well, in the case of Persona 3 Reload, there is a difficulty mode called Peaceful, in which case it is impossible to get a game over on that difficulty setting, because you get unlimited revives. So basically, for instance, if the main character dies, I'm gonna assume what's gonna happen is if the main character dies, instead of it being an automatic game over, then you will get revived. I don't know. I'm not so sure if it's like in the next turn or if it's like on the same turn, like right away after you die. But yeah, in the case of Persona 3 Reload, there is a difficulty setting called Peaceful, where, like I said, it's pretty much impossible to get a game over because you have unlimited revives.
Well, that's good to know.
Well, to be fair though, when I first played it, when I first played it on the PS4, the original model, or not the original model, but the Slim model or whatever that I have, I played that on normal difficulty, and on the Stream series, I also did it on normal difficulty. I don't know, it makes me kind of, and I'm also hoping I'm pretty sure they will, but hopefully on the next Nintendo system, that they'll also, that Sega will put like Sonic games on it. I'm like 99% sure they will, especially since, from what I heard, is that Sonic games typically sell the best on Nintendo platforms.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll do that because Sega has always been a big supporter of the Nintendo consoles.
And considering how big of a Sonic I am, and if I were to get, the Switch 2, assuming it's something permanent by then, yeah, you bet your butt I'm buying. Yeah, you bet your ass that I'm with them getting Sonic games on there because it's not like how it was back because the thing of it is when I came through the Wii Shop channel shutting down, yeah, if I would have known I could have used like a prepaid card, you know, like a prepaid Visa card or prepaid MasterCard, I most likely, keyword most likely would have bought all the Sonic games on there, or not that, the classic Sonic games. I would have bought them, but I thought you could only use like an actual credit card, an actual debit card. But oh well, it's too late now. But if I would have known that, I would have bought the Sonic games on there, and I especially would have bought the original Smash. But oh well, what can I do?
At least this time with Mario Party.
Well, the latest they kind of around was very nice in terms of the announcements that we got. I'm pretty bummed that they never revealed a new Mario and Sonic the Olympics game coming out right here for Paris 2024.
Yeah, that would have been nice. But at least this time with a new Mario game, in this case Mario Party Jamboree, coming out 8 days before Sonic X Shadow Generations, at least this time I will have to choose which of those to play first.
Well, assuming because I know I'm saying this a lot, but assuming I saw the apartment before then, I do know I am going to work to get the Sonic X Shadow Generations, because if I get it, and also assuming too, the game doesn't have block scenes, I'll be doing a stream series of it, specifically the Sonic Generations content.
Yeah, and from what I remember, Nick, I think Connor was kind of almost in a similar pickle on his server with that same similar time period in October. Only in his case, it was Mario Party and a Dragon Ball game.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Yeah, but I think from what he said, the Dragon Ball game comes out, I think the week before Mario Party does. So, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, I think it's called.
It's a shame that they're not making a Paris 2024 version of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. I really wanted to add it right here, considering that the actual Olympics are coming up next month. Right here, and considering that they haven't announced a Paris 2024 version for Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, I'm probably thinking that the series is dead. If it is, right here, that it's just absolutely disappointing on what's going on for that series.
Yeah.
I'll be disappointed as well, but honestly, it was bound to happen at this point, considering that the series is heavily criticized, so it was bound to happen sooner or later.
But if that is...
Nintendo is a very, I've put this on hardware a lot of the time, Nintendo is a very unpredictable company. You never really know what they're going to do at any given moment, so maybe in a couple of years from now, we will see that. I do want our Sonic, everyone their games.
You know what? Actually, Daniel, Nick does have a good point. Just because there's probably not going to be a Mario and Sonic Olympics this year, doesn't necessarily mean the series is dead overall. Because here's my theory. Here's my theory that I'm now thinking of. My theory is that Sega may have approached Nintendo at some point earlier in the year about a Mario and Sonic collab for this year's Olympics, but for whatever reason, Nintendo probably told them no this time.
It could be, but I'm not so sure.
I'm thinking that might have been the case. And if it is, then the next opportunity for that kind of collab would be the 2026 Olympics.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not entirely sure though. It would be nice to get another Mario and Sonic Olympic game series, because I happen to be a fan of the series myself. But the thing of it is, we all crossover, and I don't really blame them because of all things for Mario Sonic's crossover run. I'm like 99% sure a lot of people was not thinking of the Olympics.
Yeah, but if the Mario and Sonic at the Olympics series truly is dead, then the 12 or so years that it had was still a pretty good run.
For sure.
Especially since London is my personal favorite of the series, but Vancouver is a close second.
I also am a big fan of the Mario and Sonic in the Olympic Games series as well. I'm sure some of you guys may go that right now. I've been a fan of that series ever since the very beginning, since the original one was one of the first Wii games I played originally. But for what Dominic was saying on London 2012 being his favorite, that is definitely a very good version out there, especially since I do enjoy the London part of that. But for me, Vancouver 2010 is my personal favorite of my series.
And from what I remember,
Not only that, but you never know, guys. They might just end up shadow dropping it, like Paper Mario: The Origami King, where they announce it, where they announce that one randomly, just on a random day. So they might do this. They could do the same thing with Mario Sonic at the Paris Olympics.
yeah.
I don't think it's possible that would be the case. But we'll never know right now for sure.
I'm just saying, that's what they did.
I wouldn't hold my breath on it.
I'm just saying, that's what they did with Paper Mario: The Origami King. But like what he said, like what Nick said, I wouldn't hold my breath on it either. But you never know. They might do that again. They might.
Yeah, and from what I remember, Daniel, I believe, if I remember correctly, I believe I went through the story mode on the 2020 Olympics game for your birthday last year.
And I do remember that you did that, and you also played through some of that in another special you did for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Got GG's on there as well.
Yeah, GG, Dominic.
Yep, GG, Nick.
But yeah, I'll put it this way as far as my overall thoughts on the direct, I liked it a lot. I'm definitely excited about that. Just to see what the rest of the Switch has to offer. It definitely is good to see the console seems to be ending off on a high note for sure.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is kind of the best closeout lineup that Nintendo's ever had for any system.
It's like, it's really nice that they're pretty much stopping the Switch with a bang, and especially considering that they released a Thousand Year Door HD remake, and if anything, I was expecting them to remake the original one, but the fact that they did a remake of Paper Mario: Thousand Year Door, my personal favorite of the Paper Mario games, and probably one of my favorite games ever, I was certainly really glad when they showed that in the September Direct from last year, if I'm not mistaken. That was a perfect way to end off that particular Nintendo Direct itself. But in terms of this Direct, really good either way. And especially Metroid Prime 4. Yeah, sure, not into Metroid, but even I was pretty excited. I do know, I know none of you guys are into Fire Emblem. I do know I was kind of hoping we were gonna get like a Fire Emblem remake or something announced, like the rumored Fire Emblem 4, the Holy War remake or something, or brand new Fire Emblem. But I'm not complaining, especially since we already had a brand new Fire Emblem game last year. So I was a little disappointed that we didn't get a Fire Emblem announcement on the Direct, but I am still proud of most of the stuff that they announced for the Direct.
And rumors, and those same rumors were also mentioning something about remasters for F-Zero GX or Zelda Wind Waker Twilight Princess showing up at the Direct, which, once again, did not happen.
Yeah, but how can the cover switch is dead? Yeah, I definitely do agree. It is wrapping up on a high note.
Yeah.
Lots of great releases from that system over the years.
Yeah.
And from what I do know, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, for what we're doing for this episode, is my highest game I've played on the system. And from what I also do know, Asphalt 9 is even one of my most played Switch games as well, with a ton of hours spent on this. I love the Asphalt series quite a lot of since 7. Yeah, that comes to show why I have so many hours spent in Asphalt 9.
Yeah. Now, from what I remember, the September 2022 Direct was definitely light on first-party stuff. From what I remember, I think the only first-party things from Nintendo in that Direct was Fire Emblem Engage, another trailer for that, a DLC announcement for Xenoblade 3, and some stuff for NSO, which included Mario Parties 1 and 2. You remember that, right, Nick?
Yes, I do. Now, honestly, if I remember correctly, like the MCT for Mario announcement was pretty much like the only thing in that direct that excited me.
Yeah, because
I do know I was really sorry with the Fire Engage announcement on that one.
yeah, because like I said, like in that Direct, I think the only Nintendo-related announcements that had happened were, like I mentioned, Fire Emblem, Xenoblade 3 DLC, and NSO stuff. Most of everything else was farming sims that like nobody cares about.
Like seriously, at that point, there may as well have been an entire Direct focused on it, called Farming Direct or something.
Either that, or a crappy or a crappy partner showcase.
Because from what I remember, those are the only two things I was excited on that. Farm Engage and the Mario Party stuff. From what I remember, those are the only things that interest me on that particular Direct. Yeah, I do agree that Direct was terrible. Aside from those two things like I mentioned.
Yeah, and
to be fair, Then I remember the One Direct. I think I'm not mistaken. I think it was on the same year when they announced. It was on the February Direct where they had Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, where it was basically a what if scenario, of three houses, but in a style of the Warriors games. The Directs are quite nice to watch, even if some stuff is really stupid on them.
yeah, and actually speaking of,
I was saying of my most played Switch games out there from what I do remember, along with Smash and Asphalt 9 being the two most played Switch games that I have played. Basically, I do know that the game that I played in the number 3 spot, from what I have played the most, is Animal Crossing New Horizons.
yeah. Alright, so I think this next match will be the last one for this episode. And actually, there is one third-party game that was announced earlier this year in the February Partner Showcase that I'm still waiting on more information for, which is the Epic Mickey remake.
Well, I'm not exactly too interested in that kind of thing, but it is still nice that they announced it, because I do remember seeing the trailers for it, and I think especially the sequel.
Yeah. And there's actually...
Talking about Asphalt 9 not too long ago, there is actually an expansion for it coming out next month on the 17th, which is Asphalt Legends Unite. And with that game, that is going to be cross-platform with multiple systems, basically the Switch, Xbox One, and now the PS4 and PS5. Previously, they never released Asphalt Unite on the PS4 and PS5, but Asphalt Legends Unite will be on those two consoles by the time that expansion does come out. And the nice thing from what I've heard about Asphalt Legends Unite is that there's going to be a change to the racing right here with specific people that you want to race with. So from what I've heard is that you can make private lobbies and race against your friends. And you don't have to bother creating a club to do that once the expansion does come back.
See, I got you.
Okay, well, that is pretty cool.
Oh no, Donkey Kong's on fire!
Console that you have for Asphalt Legends Unite, you can basically add friends through cross-platform, so it's definitely very, very nice.
I'll say.
Yeah. That is pretty cool, you know, that that's actually happening.
Yeah, like I said, it does happen. It should definitely be what it releases.
Yeah.
BG.
Yep, GG again.
Alright, so, on that note, okay, yeah, so on that note, I think that'll do it for this episode. Hopefully you folks watching enjoyed all this Nintendo Direct talk. We'll be doing some NSO stuff for next week's episode, so we will see you then.
Hi, guys.
Bye, guys. Yep.